So welcome to POW, Pearls of Wisdom, and we've got a real quick impromptu interview with Juliet Leonard. She is, a special yoga teacher. If you think you've done yoga, you've done nothing like what this one can teach you, because I went to a class with her last night with a friend and I thought, this will be something I've done before, and it was like nothing else. Well, not on this planet, actually. Right? So without further ado, I'm going to let Juliet explain a little bit more about what she does, because her yoga is called
Kundalini activation process.
There we go.
And if anyone's listening who wants to hear about yoga, change the channel, because I don't do yoga at all, actually.
But so, people do have an element of linking it to some way, don't they?
It is linked to it. I call it like an energy healing modality, but its primary objective is not healing like Reiki would be. Its primary objective is the expansion of consciousness.
Okay.
And anyone who's walking down that path or learning about that path and awakening might understand what I'm talking about. But that's what it's meant to do.
So when does Kundalini... I was going to say something rude.
CAP. So you can say CAP.
quick, where does CAP start and come from? What's the history of it? How does it link with what we know it is today?
Okay, so the CAP that I do, that was founded by a man called Venet Wong. And he found that he could... manipulate and change people's energy centres for the better. He also found that he could pass on this ability to a few other people. And
how did he find that out to start with? That's fascinating.
It goes through his family lineage to quite a large extent, but then he honed these gifts, if you want to call it a gift, through martial arts. Apparently, this is what I've heard. It's one of the starts that he was a good martial artist, originally a dancer, went into martial arts, and he found that people actually were moving before he made contact with them. It was almost like the energy had extended out of him before making the actual impact, and that led him down the rabbit hole of, well, what is energy? What is this energy? Where does it come from? How does it build? And he studied with a variety of masters, spiritual masters and teachers and great minds, and honed his gifts and has created this extraordinary package.
But not everybody can go on this. I think, were you invited to join?
Yes, so it's a selection process.
Okay. And how did they find you?
A very experienced teacher suggested it to me on the side, and I thought about it for a good year or so, and then I applied. I made it known that I was interested.
So your background had you were doing some remedial works with children and that type of thing. So it was sort of a pathway to this.
So the way it actually fell together was that somebody overheard at a business conference, because I'm not just woo-woo, I have property, I'm in property and investment and all sorts of things. At a business conference, somebody said, "Oh, I didn't know you did Reiki. Oh, if you like Reiki, you're going to love CAP." They'd just returned from Bali. They told me all about it, and I didn't believe a word of it. But I thought, this person is kind of sensible and sane, and okay, I'll give it a try. And I did, and I hit the ceiling.
Changed your life.
In process, hit the ceiling, just looked at my family and thought, why isn't this on the news? Why isn't this on the 6 o'clock news? People should be shouting this from the rooftops. This defies everyday life.
And I had that same experience just through doing one class, that I really wanted to try and get you on and jump on here. Perhaps we could talk about that class and what happens for people if you're interested in CAP, what you might experience, because I experienced things I didn't think I was going to experience. Everybody in the class did, in actual fact, didn't they? So perhaps if you would just go through what happens during our time together.
So you lie down. I play some very loud music.
Very loud, very cool playlist actually.
Thank you. I like my music. And then it begins. Your eyes are closed and I'll touch you on various parts of your body, mainly the 7 major chakra points. And I transmit the energy known as CAP. What the participant will feel might be static electricity, tingling, muscles moving, contracting and releasing, actual full body movements, swaying, shaking, sometimes as strong as sticking your fingers in a light socket and an electric shock type feeling.
One of the ladies had quite a lot of trauma. She'd had breast cancer, and through the process she let out the most almighty sort of scream that you thought something was actually happening to her there and then. It wasn't just like, oh, that hurts. It was like a real roar that had come from deep within her, and then lots of crying, which she was very apologetic about, but we were really pleased for her.
Yeah, it's called surrendering to the moment, and in surrendering you are making an agreement to experience what's happening to you now, not thinking about tomorrow or later, or having a running criticism about it, just experiencing it. So I explained the things you may feel and that might happen to your body, but much deeper than that, your emotions will be run through, and any energetic blockages and stains that are in your energy body, that is what the energy is trying to clean up, sort out, to work through the stains of life stuck to you that perhaps don't serve you anymore, that don't let you be the person that you know you are inside. But I hate to use the word damage, but sometimes we do hold on to things totally unintentionally, and it's impossible to let them go. CAP is the most amazing modality for people to recover from their traumas, and that's why I feel it's so profound.
Fantastic. Yeah, and so some of those traumas don't have to be that profound, do they? You were saying, I haven't had any sort of major trauma for me in my life. It can be something as simple as maybe even like hurting your leg or breaking your kneecap or something, to more serious trauma.
Or childbirth, or your own birth, or perhaps a past life. This is where the woo-woo bubble gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So imagine animals know how to journey from place to place to place without ever having been told by their parents. They know how to change their behaviours in certain weather patterns, but they've never been taught by anything. There is knowledge imprinted in something that is passed down generation to generation to generation. Now imagine if we as human animals are no different. We have a pretty traumatic human history, and we can carry all this ancestral pain with us. So you might have a very happy life. It might be perfect, but you might be still very aware that you're just not always happy. You're not always connected to your true strength and creativity that you need to call on.
And is some of that from past life as well? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do.
So Kundalini, the word is an
ancient word.
And is there some Hinduism or mixed in with this?
Our culture, this culture, has had Christianity dominant for thousands of years. And so we will know all sorts of things about Christianity, but there are many, many other civilizations on the planet that for thousands of years more than ours have been talking about energy systems and energy centers and alignment and the various bodies of our makeup of our being, not just our physical body. So the word Kundalini refers to a bundle of energy that it's in your root chakra, in your pelvic area, and it's a sort of a power bank of energy. During CAP, we are trying to awaken that energy and allow it to be able to pass up and down your energy centers and up through your crown to heaven, the field, God, source, whatever word you might have for it, or even if you have no belief in anything at all, this will still work for you.
So is this to do so that your whole body flows, the energy flows again properly?
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes. When your system is cleaned off from the inside and the energy channels are open, you have more superpowers. You have more intuition. You make better decisions about your life. You make better decisions for other people, for yourself, for your circumstances. It goes to the extent of serendipities taking place on a regular basis. Life flows. It's not this difficult challenge that you face all the time. It flows. So, and that's very difficult to imagine. So I invite anyone to try it.
It's absolutely fascinating. So around the world, where is it mostly taken up? Is it obviously it's quite new in the UK? Is it in comparison to some other countries?
It is fairly new. There are maybe a dozen practitioners in this country. There are a couple of hundred CAP practitioners worldwide. Okay. It's still something that's growing. It's only been out available to the average human for about 8 years now. So it is very, very new. If you think yoga is mainstream now and everyone's heard of it, which also has the same intention, it is clearing you out and opening you up. That's what yoga is about. So yoga's been around for 140 years in the West, I'd say, probably now. So it's with the internet, where you can see thousands of shocking videos of people in process, and everybody who watches them is probably scared to death.
I mean, they are quite where you feel like it's something out of body, where you're being sort of pulled up and down, and it's quite...
Sometimes it's portrayed as looking violent or sexual, and your internal experience... can be. There are perks. Your internal journey when you are experiencing CAP in process is not like that at all.
Right.
It is gentle. There is a slight disconnect going on. The energy and the healing that is taking place on your energy system, you are slightly removed from that. So you can be crying and sad, but you don't know why. You're not connected to that. That's why it's so wonderful for PTSD as well. So emotions that cannot be revisited and talked about in normal therapies, they can be worked on in CAP without
the mind getting involved
and bringing up the traumas. The trauma is treated in the background as much as it can be in each session. But it has a profound effect.
I only had one session, and I had a profound effect at the time. And you were saying that can carry on for a few days, maybe weeks.
Yeah, it's very normal for one session to keep giving you energy over a number of days afterwards, say maybe 3 days, and up to about 7 days for any sort of sensations of energy coming at you. And then you come back to a higher frequency.
Well, you've got something to work with, I suppose, haven't you? If you're already in a better zone and place, you can, if you can, carry on to build on those feelings and...
Yeah, you've sort of been upgraded, fixed, whatever word you want to choose, a little bit, and then it will settle down. And then if you want some more, you can go in even further. I always say to people that we are like onions. We have many, many layers. And you cannot get to the heart until you've removed the outer layers. And we're all at different starting points. Some people come into my class with 20 years experience of yoga or meditation or any kind of spiritual practice. CAP is non-denominational. It has no connection to any religion. And so somebody may open up immediately in their first session and feel that they are connected to the divine straight away. And other people may have a little bit of movement and a few tears and feel like something definitely happened, but they're not quite sure what. So yeah, it's different for everyone, and it's different every time you do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. it's a different sensation. It can work on a different a different part of your being. So yeah, we are all works in progress.
And it's not obviously like a normal class like yoga or Pilates that you'd maybe go every week. Is it something you say it's quite nice to do 3 times a year or once a month? Or
there is no hard and fast rule.
Right.
The class is beautiful, and it's where the phenomena takes place that everybody is very excited to experience. But the hard work happens afterwards.
Right.
So it's a process that you are integrating the energy and maybe making the changes after the class. So the little angel and the little devil that sit on your shoulder. So the little angel is going to be really loud after a class and in the coming weeks. And it's going to be inviting you to eat more healthily, or to drink a little bit less, or to follow up this lead, or to go and meet with that person, or to go and do whatever activities that you know are good for you, but you've procrastinated a lot. If you do that work, you are getting closer and closer to where you're supposed to be, to where's going to be happiest for you. This is all a journey towards joy and bliss. This is all it is.
Joy and bliss, don't we all want more of that? Well, if you want a bit more of Juliet, we'll put all of her details at the end of here, and you can follow her on. You've got your Instagram?
Yes.
What's your Instagram?
Cap by Juliet.
With the K?
Yeah.
And your website is soulflowenergy.com. You can ask her some more questions and maybe find out where a class is near you and you can visit. Bye.